Well, everybody, welcome back. It's Mo again. Well, in this lecture, we're going to be looking at is we're going to have a switch with computers, and guess what? We will apply the subnets. I want to see how can we apply the subnets in real time on the switch, right? So watch this. Look what I have here. This is my actual network, something that we worked with before, which is a slash 28. So slash 28 meaning what? I'm actually looking for 16 networks, so I borrowed 4 bits and 4 bits left for the host. So this is something that we actually covered before, right? So what I want to do is I want to get myself a switch. Here's a switch, and let me get 8 computers. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. All right, and watch this. I'm gonna put the actual cables. So this is port one, port two, port three. So I'm just matching the port numbers, and you'll see why. And port five, six, seven, and eight. So in this case, you want to make sure you actually put them on the right numbers, and you'll see why. So I'm not going to give IPs yet. Watch this. I'm going to go to the switch. All the ports are a member of a VLAN called VLAN 1, which means I only have one broadcast on the switch, right? So everybody belongs to the same network. So if I do show VLAN over here, I can see that I have VLAN number 1, and I have all the ports are member of VLAN number one. What I want to do is, how is this done in real time when you have different networks? You can't just apply them like through DHCP and just send out the IPs. The switch has to understand that they belong to different broadcast domains. So that's the proper way. So watch this. I'm going to go to global configuration mode. I'm going to create different VLANs. Let's say a VLAN 10, enter, name, and I could say this is actually for, let's say, sales. I could do them printers, phones, cameras, the laptops, but I'm going to do them per a department. VLAN 20, enter, name, let's say HR. VLAN 30, enter, name, let's say QA, all right? And then VLAN 40, enter, let's say name what? Support, just like that. And if I do Control Z and I do show VLAN, watch this. I have VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40. No ports are a member of that VLAN. So I'm going to go to interface range F0 slash 1 to 2, and I'm going to use a command called switch port access VLAN 10. So I'm moving ports 1 and 2 to VLAN 10 and ports 3 and 4 to VLAN 20. I'm not doing one port at a time. I rather do multiple, which means I'm using the range command, and this is VLAN 30. And then 7 and 8 to what? VLAN 40. All right, there we go, just like that. Control C. Let me save my actual configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at my VLANs, and I can see VLAN 10 has ports 1 and 2, VLAN 20 has ports 3 and 4, VLAN 30 has ports 5 and 6, and VLAN 40 has ports 7 and 8. So what does that mean to us? Well, let me go ahead and apply the numbers. So I'm going to be using the 16 network. This is going to be for what? This is going to be for the HR. Okay, let's see. Sales. Okay, and then we have what? HR, and then we have the QA, and then we have the support, right? So this one is VLAN what? 10. This is for VLAN 20. See, each one is on a different network, and the support is on VLAN 40, just like this. So I could use a number from 17 through what? Through 30. Remember, this is an example we did with you folks. So I'm going to use 17 and 18. All right, 17 and 18 for the sales. So I'm going to go over here and 17 and 18. So this is 192.168, 100.17. What is the actual mask? 240. All right, just like that. And then 18 right over here. 192.168, 100.18. And of course, the mask is 240. So this belongs to VLAN 10, and this belongs to VLAN 10. This one belongs to VLAN 20. This one belongs to VLAN 20. This one belongs to VLAN 30. And this one belongs to VLAN 30. This one belongs to VLAN 40. And this one belongs to VLAN 40. Just like that. So let me just move them to their corresponding machines so we could actually know what each one is actually part of which VLAN. Okay, It's better to have them organized like this. So now what I need to do is I need to apply the actual number. So this one is what already? 11.100.17, 100.18. This one doesn't have a number. So this one's going to be what? 33 and 34. So this will be 33, right? 192, 168, 100.33. And of course, this is going to be what? 240. And this is going to be 34. 100.34. And this one is 240. Okay. So we got 33 and 34. Easy, right? The first two numbers. 49 and 50 for the QA, which is VLAN 30. 49 and 50. 49. And of course, 240, right? Don't forget, if you don't do this, it means we're not doing a classless network of VLSM, right? So this one over here, as you see, is what? 49, right? So I'm just using the first two numbers, and this one will be what? 50. 240. I could do this through DHCP and I'll show you that. All right. So we'll see that. And this one is going to be, let's see, 65 and 66. 65 and 66. 65. And of course, this is 240 and 66. 92168, 100.66. Right? See that? Just like that. So right now, these two should talk to each other. These two should talk to each other. These two should talk to each other. And these two should talk to each other. This is the right thing by putting them in their corresponding VLANs. Let's take a look. So if I put envelope here and here, success. Here and here, success. Here and here, success. All right. Here and here, success. See that? Okay, this is good. Now, if I go ahead and put envelope here and here, they cannot talk to each other. Let me try this again. Here and here, they cannot talk to each other. Again, a different one here and here. VLAN 30 cannot talk to VLAN 40. So this is the proper way. I create the VLANs, I move the ports to the corresponding VLAN, right? And then from there, I change the network, each one on a different subnet, which is I'm using a slash 28. Depending on how many hosts you need per network, I just randomly chose a slash 28. Well, right now they cannot talk to each other. How about if I want them to talk to each other? I could do something called inter-VLAN routing. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do in our next lecture. So we'll see you folks in our next lecture. Bye now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Well, in this lecture, what we're going to be looking at is how can we allow the different VLANs to talk to each other? How can they communicate with each other? If I want VLAN 10 to talk to 20 to talk to 30, well, guess what? I need to get myself a router. So watch this. Here's a router. Watch this. Let's say a 1941 router, and I'm going to get myself a cable. And from here, gigabit 00 to the switch, let's say to gigabit 01 on the switch itself. Router interfaces are always down by default, right? So they're down by default itself. So one thing that I want to do is this. I need to go to the router, and I'm going to click no. So I'm going to go to global configuration mode, interface gigabit 00, and do a no shut to turn the interface up. That's what I need to do. Now, what do I need to make a router? It's going to be called a router on a stick to allow the VLANs to talk to each other. So watch this. First of all, I have to do a no shut on the real interface. I need to divide my physical interface into four logical interfaces, which are called sub interfaces. So watch this. Interface gigabit 0/0 dot what? Dot 10 for VLAN what? VLAN 10. And then I give it an actual what? I'm going to specify a protocol called encapsulation, which means I'm going to link this with what VLAN encapsulation. And the protocol that is used is actually .1Q. We're going to see that something called trunking to trunk between the switch and the router to allow the VLANs to pass from the switch to the router. And I'm VLAN what? 10. And then I give it an IP address. 100 dot what? What is the IP address? Well, we have to understand something. Watch this. So for network 16, I use numbers 17 and 18. What is the default gateway for 16 and 17? I'm going to use the last available host. So this will be the default gateway, the IP address of the router, which will be 30, and the next one 46, 62, and so on. All right, so 30 is going to be for this one. So I'm going to open this and make it 30. Question mark, default mask, no, 240. Okay, then I do the same thing, up arrow, VLAN 20. Look at this, up arrow twice, VLAN 20. Then IP address is what? 100 dot what? What's VLAN 20? Let's take a look. It's going to be 46 for the default gateway. 46. So I'm going to put 46. There you go. Then VLAN 30. So I'm going to do this for 30. And then I'm going to link it to VLAN 30. See this? Just like that. And the IP address is what? 100 dot what? What is the last available number? For this one is going to be 62. All right, 62 is 62. So let me go back and make it 62. Now, I'm going to do the last VLAN, which is VLAN 40. And here, I'm going to link it to VLAN 40. So dot one Q links us to the VLAN, to the corresponding VLAN, because the switch needs to talk to the router itself. And here, 100 dot what? Let's take a look. 78. All right, 78. So I'm going to put 78 here. Enter. Control Z, and let me save my configuration. If I look at my routing table, show IP route connected, look, I support 4 different networks. Look, slash 28, isn't that amazing? 16 network, 32 network, 48, 64. That's what I have. Okay, what I need to do over here is what? Put the default gateway on the client machines. Do I need to do that? You know what I'm going to do? I could set up DHCP for all my machines right now. But you know what? Let me put a default gateway. So 30, 46, 62, 78. 30. Watch this. 100.30. 100.30. And watch. 100.30. Okay. So that's 30. And look, if I go back over here, and I can see it 46. Okay. 46 for this one. 46. 46. Same thing. And what is this one? 62. This one is 62. And let's take a look at this one. Watch this. 78. Okay. 78 and 78. Right over here. Okay. Can they talk to each other right now? Yes, they can. But watch, I forgot to do something and I forgot it on purpose. We know that these two can talk. How about this from here to here? Failed. You see that? Okay. Failed. Why? The switch. What is this port? Gigabit 01. Gigabit 01 is connected to the router, right? Watch. Watch. Show IP. Interface brief. Gigabit 01 is actually up, is connected to the router. If I do show VLAN, where's Gigabit 01? Oh, it's part of VLAN 1. Gigabit 01 has no clue about VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40. I need to make sure Gigabit 01 is a member of all the VLANs. What do I do with that port? I trunk it. And that's .1Q. All right. So you see more about .1Q. So interface, Gigabit 0/1, switch port mode, trunk. I just trunked it. Cool. Okay. Show interface trunk now. Oh, I see Gigabit 01. .1Q, 802.1Q, allowed VLANs 110, 20, 30, 40. Perfect. This is what I'm looking for. All right. So if I do show VLAN, I'm not going to see Gigabit 01 in the list because if you don't see it, that means it's actually most likely a trunk port. So now let me go ahead and try again. Let me delete these. Put envelope here and envelope here. Is going to fail on the first one. That's fine. No worries. It didn't fail. Now it's success. You see that? Now it works. Well, you know what I want to do? I want to see the path that it takes. This is 100.33. Watch this. This is interesting. Tracert 192.168, 100.33. Oh, it has to go through the router, right? You see this? 100. Who's 30? My default gateway is 30. And you see this? Default gateway for these machines is 30. So I have to pass through the router, then I can reach it, which means I have to hit the router, then I come down over here because it's on a different network. I don't care. I have four sub interfaces. I have one physical, and I could divide the physical into as billions of sub interfaces. Each one is linked to a VLAN. All right. Well, what I want to do right now is make this as a DHCP server for everybody instead of putting static numbers. All right. So watch this. Config key, IP, DHCP, exclude. I need to exclude the addresses first, folks. So I need to go back. A little cheating over here. So this one is what? 30, 46, 62, 78, 30. Let's do 30 and what? 46. 30 and 46. Okay. So 30. So I don't give these numbers out, right? And I like to do this command. So I see, if I want to see my actual interface, I could do show run. Watch this. Hit the shift and the key under the backspace and say section, let's say interface. Oh. Section, let's say interface, gigabit 0/0. Ah, okay, let's see. I'm trying to do a command over here. Let me see if I do the include. Okay. I see what happened. Do you know what happened? I didn't do the do command. Do space. It didn't show me anything because what is it called? Do show run. Let me show you what I'm trying to do here. What is the name of the interface? Let's see. Hold on. Interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Okay, so I could say interface. Show run section interface. And now it shows me that. See that? I could specify which interface. So I forgot to do the do command because I'm in the wrong mode. So I know that this is 30. The next one is what? 46. Next one is 46. Let me hit the up arrow. 46. Exclude. What is the next one? 62. And the next one is what? 78. Perfect. Then IP DHCP. Cool. I'm going to call the first one. Let's say, should I do it according to the VLAN? Let's say VLAN 10. All right, that's fine. Network is what? 192.168. What is the network? So in this case, what I like to do is do show IP route connected. See that? Okay, so I already in the pool of what over here? 10. So now I'm going to do the network, which is 192.168.100.16. Space 255, 255, 255 dot what? 240. And default router is what? What is the default router for 16? It's what? 30. You see that? The one that I excluded. And I don't need DNS. Then I create a pool for what? For the 20. And what is the network? 20 is what? 32. See that? 32. Trying to make things easier for us. And default router is what? 46. This is 46. And then for the 30. And network is what? 48. All right. 48. Come on. All right. Okay. Default router is what for the 48? The third one is what? 62. Okay. Remember, I used the last number 62 and 40. And this one over here is going to be the network as what? 64. Watch this. And what is the default gateway? Is going to be what? What's the default router? Is going to be what? 78. Okay. Control Z and WR. Show run. I could do this. Oh, okay. How about this? Show run section DHCP. Okay, so I do see everything that I want. Perfect. Let me go to each machine and obtain IP automatic. DHCP, making my life easier over here. DHCP, DHCP. All right. DHCP. Oh, there you go. Come on. DHCP, DHCP, and DHCP. There we go. I like to use more than one computer. At least we could actually test it. You can put more systems, all right? At least two is fine. I like to use like more than one VLAN. Of course, I could do two VLANs, three. I just decided to go with four VLANs. Let's see the numbers. Let me delete this. See, this got 17. Look at the gateway. This is perfect. This one got 18. So this is good. See the gateways? Everything is assigned automatically. I'm not using static numbers. What does that mean? I could go from here to here. First one is going to fail always. The first ping will fail. See, successful. Okay, so this IP is what? 100.49. Let me go back here and trace 49. It's going to go through the router. Oh, I'm going through my router, then I'm reaching. All right, just like that. That's what you need to do. Inter VLAN routing. This is called a router on the stick to allow different VLANs to talk to each other. We had to trunk this side to allow the VLANs to go out to the switch so the router understands them. And then I have to link each VLAN to a specific what? Sub interface. All right, so we'll see you folks in our next lecture. Bye now.